A presentation by Healthy Leadership CIC, rebalancing our golden and shadow aspects. All of us have golden and shadow aspects as leaders, and it's good to stop and acknowledge our positive and negative sides so we can focus on healthy leadership and decency. For us to be decent leaders working for the greater good, we must build our positives and work to resolve the negatives we possess. Doing so enables us to become healthy leaders in all senses of the phrase. Each of us has golden positive aspects and shadow negative parts. As leaders, we can work to enhance our positive parts, address the negative, and help others to do the same. So it is important that we take the time to investigate safely our shadow parts and the balance between golden and shadow. Because if we don't, then our shadow sides may interfere with and prevent our growth. This session will help you explore your golden and shadow aspects, consider what the setting conditions are to help others do the same. Please make sure you create that space and time to be reflective safely. Maybe it will help to have someone with you on your journey. For this session, please also make sure that you have a notepad with you to write down your reflections. So what is healthy leadership? It is an individual and collective function that has many intentions. This includes an aim to serve human beings and/or something else. Some operationalize leadership ethically to serve. Others will have another focus, such as a profit motive alongside wanting to be ethical. Healthy leadership happens when the individual or the group do their utmost to serve others ethically while acknowledging that there can be negativity and be willing to address it and heal. They remain flexible and open to sensing the incoming future. So let's start. Here's a reflection. Make sure that you are comfortable. Focus on your breathing and let it slow down. Think of a sound or picture that represents the word balance to you and concentrate on that in silence for 2 minutes. Once you have done that, then continue with this session. Now, let's look at learning about the golden and the shadow. Find a quiet time and place where you can relax and feel safe. Consider what you will need to help yourself be calm and inquisitive about yourself. Perhaps some quiet music or snacks. Please make sure that you will not be disturbed. Slow down your breathing. Try to clear your mind of all thoughts. If any appear, simply ask them to go and say that you will address them later. Then take time to consider these questions. What is golden about me? Which are my golden behaviors, emotions, and thoughts? Examples include being honest, having good self-respect and confidence, being appreciative of inclusion, being able to collaborate, being compassionate and kind. What is shadow about me? Which are my shadow behaviors, emotions, and thoughts? And here, examples could include being irritated when tired, lacking patience, lying, being lazy, gossiping, being over-emotional and selfish. Stay with these questions and let your thoughts and emotions arise as they may. When you are ready, write your answers somewhere safe. Then focus on these questions. How does my golden side help me? How does my shadow side affect me? What do I do to maintain a balance between golden and shadow? Again, write your answers. You may feel a little unsettled, and so it is important to reorient yourself after this exercise. Think about your wonderfulness as a human being and professional. Focus on that and store your answers to the reflections. Let's do a little further exploration by looking at the continuum between golden and positive, say on the left-hand side, to shadow and negative on the right-hand side. So where would you locate yourself most times? How do you know where you are on a daily basis? What could trigger a shift either to the golden and positive side or the shadow or negative side? And when that happens, how do you rebalance? What would you like to change? So pause, reflect, and write your answers to these questions, please. Now, let's look at yourself. On a piece of paper, draw an image of your current self. On a separate piece of paper, draw an image of your future self. And I'm going to do a walking exercise with you to look at the blocks and the aids to your future self. So place the image of your current self in one place and the image of the future self a little bit further away, either at the end of the desk or at the end of a room. Go and stand, figuratively or in real time, next to the picture of your current self. Look at the picture of your future self. How do you feel? Now begin walking towards your future self and think about how you're feeling, what you're thinking. And as you're walking towards your future self, you hit two blocks, a small one and a large one. What are the blocks? What are you going to do about them? How will you manage them? How will you address them so that you can carry on with your journey? Now imagine that you've addressed your blocks and you're continuing on your journey. And you come across this amazing market that's got everything in it that anybody could ever want to become their future self. And your budget is unlimited. Pick up a basket and put into that basket everything that you need to help you get to your future self. Take time doing this. And once you've filled your basket, take it with you on your journey to your future self. Continue on the journey and imagine that you've achieved and reached your future self. What does it feel like to become the future you? What are you thinking? What are you doing? What are you saying? Make a note of all of this, and then also think about what would you like to change about your golden and shadow balance to ensure that you reach your future self. So now you've thought about yourself from different perspectives, your golden and shadow sides, your future self, your current self. Let's now talk about what you need in your plan to build your golden and address your shadow. Areas that are important are firstly that you continue to pay attention to your future self. So what will you do to remind yourself of that? How are you going to ensure that you have compassion and respect for yourself and others, that you build positive relationships? What will you do to maintain your well-being, your mental health and physical health? How are you going to ensure that you have hope, courage, that you take good risks and you remain motivated? What will you do to continue this exploration of golden and shadow in yourself? How do you ensure that you stay true to your values, ethics, and purpose? What will you do to make sure that you leave a legacy for the wider world and community? How are you going to make sure that diversity and inclusion is something that you promote? What are the administrative issues that you need to deal with? What leadership and organizational interventions do you need for yourself and the organization to help it become more golden? What else? So those are the key elements of the plan. Please write it and follow it for your journey to your future self. Thank you. Let's now look at how you can help others to look at their golden and shadow side. The first question is to ask, how ready is the person? Do they actually want to change? Let's explore this. So look at the person and talk to them about how ready they are to change. Are they unaware and perhaps resistant to the need to change? Are they beginning to realize the need to change? Are they acknowledging the need to change? Are they ready for it? Are they ready to move into action? So talk to them about where they are on this journey. Because if they are only just becoming aware of the need to change, then your work is to help them recognize that and move on that, as opposed to suggesting actions for them to actually use. The second thing to think about is ask them how they change from any current self they had in the past to a newer self. Are they somebody who likes to investigate the future and talk about it? What emotions do they feel normally? How do they cope with those emotions? What do they do to ensure that there's emotional closure and acceptance, closure about the past and acceptance of the future? How likely are they to relapse and sabotage? And if they do, what will help? What habits help them to change cognitively and practically? What support do they need to maintain hope, courage, and motivation? So talk to them about all of these qualities so that you can help them understand and help you understand how they change. Make a note, then that will help you plan for their change. But also think about preparing yourself. What can you do as a leader to prepare yourself to help, both before, during, and after? What is it that you can do to help the person? For example, if you're someone who's quite action-oriented, then you may struggle helping someone who's still needing to think about change. So what can you do to put your own needs in the background so that you help the person reflect on the need to change as opposed to actually changing? To help you with preparing yourself, here's some theoretical examples to think about. Joach has said that they want to change their shadow side more. They want to eliminate it. How will you help them? It is good that they want to change and understand their shadow side. What is interesting is Joach's statement that they want to eliminate their shadow side. The first step is to acknowledge and praise them for being willing to change, but then help them understand that it is unlikely that you or anybody else can support them to eliminate their shadow side. You can help them reflect and adapt, but not eliminate it. And what do they mean by their shadow side? Is it something that you can help with? Or would it help for them to talk to a counselor or a clinical psychologist? Here is a second example. Mary has a history of being a bully and harassing people. You have gathered a lot of evidence to support that. How will you help her? Create a time and space for the first discussion with Mary. She needs to be comfortable. Let her know what is on the agenda, that is, to discuss her behaviors. Start with one incident. Tell her what you have been told. Ask her for her views and perspectives. Ask her to think about the impact of her behaviors and what she can do to change. What help will she need? What is her plan? Remember, she may be reluctant to discuss and may even deny what she has said and done. But it is important to keep gently to the topic and support her with the discussion, planning and implementing the change. It is likely to take a long time. In terms of helping people plan for change, you can use the exercises we discussed earlier to work out how to help the person change. Remember to work at their pace. Are they ready for action, or do they need time to reflect first? Make sure you support them in writing and implementing the plan for change. Thank you.